Hello and welcome back, friends. Today in this video, I'll tell you what a machine monitoring system actually is. Do you need it? What it can do for you? And is it really helpful? So, let's get started with this video today. So, in today's time, we have a lot of machines working in manufacturing industries and shop floors. We've got machines that are doing a lot of work. We've got operators who are working on the machine day in and day out. But do we really know how productive these machines are? What is going on in the machines? Are they working at their efficiency? Is everything on the machine going very well? Is the operations very smooth, or there are some issues going on? When can I expect a breakdown to happen? What are the actual downtimes in the machines? These are the questions that are burning in his and her mind, to which they want an answer instantly. And that is where a machine monitoring system comes into place. So now, by the end of this video, you will know how to integrate a machine monitoring system to your factory and step-by-step process into having a successful integration of machine monitoring system, which can yield you results and help you increase the ROI on the existing machines in which you spent and invested millions of dollars. So now, without further ado, let's get started in this video. So, quick benefits of the machine monitoring system. It helps you increase your productivity. It helps you measure real OE rather than a theoretical OE. It helps you measure what your efficiency is. It can guide you on how you can improve your efficiency. And the best thing is, it helps you create transparency across your shop floor within your different levels of management easily. So you don't need to call someone to ask, boss, give me yesterday's report, or what was my production yesterday, or how efficient my machines were working in the last week compared to the previous month. So all this data is available to you at your fingertips, which can increase your ROI on the assets you invested by at least 5%. And we have seen that by machine monitoring system, companies have been able to increase their ROI by more than 25%. Isn't that fabulous? It is, right? So now let's get started on step-by-step process on how you can do the machine monitoring system in your shop floor, in your factory. So now, to understand machine monitoring system, I'll explain what it is and how it works. So a machine monitoring system is a digital system which works on cloud or servers or different computers, which is able to collect the data from field devices such as machines, PLCs, sensors, VFDs, motors, different types of controllers, and put all the data into a single place where all data is unified into a singular architecture, where we are able to generate different KPIs from the machine data. So now machine data is big data. We've got data being generated every second. So every second data is being changed. So pressure might change, the temperature might change, the current might change, the speed of the machine might change. Everything changes in real time and at very fast pace. So we need to collect all the data coming in. We process the data, we store the data, and then we again process the data to create some dashboards, to create alerts. So now when the temperature goes high or when the pressure goes down, we can create a formula, a function, a digital twin that can get you the efficiency of how the machine is operating. So now let's say if at X speed, if the pressure is Y and the output is Z, then we can say that production is at optimal. But now if the speed is X minus Y and production is low, or if X plus Y is a speed but if production is still low, then we can see that there is some problem happening. Now at certain output, certain amount of power should be consumed, but now if it is more than that, then that means that the efficiency is going for a toss. Now let's say for a furnace to heat up and produce a single batch of production, it should take 3 hours and 200 units of power. But now let's say if it is taking 2.5 hours, so that can be good, but it is taking 400 units power, so that might be bad. But now let's say if that same case, if it is taking, for instead of 3 hours, it is taking 3.5 or 4 hours, then it is again a bad scenario, because you're not able to do the right amount of production at the right time or at the right cost. So now it helps us gauge what is happening on the shop floor easily. So what we need is the PLC data, machine data, sensor data, all to be kept at one single place, where we are able to create dashboards, alerts, and reports. So once we have all of this, we have a complete system for machine monitoring application. So now, to start with, what we will need is, we will first need an IT infrastructure. We will need Wi-Fi across the shop floor. We will need to identify which machines need to be connected, what kind of controllers are there on the machine. So a machine might have a Siemens controller, another machine might have a Fano controller, another machine might have a Delta PLC, another machine might just have a VFD motor on that. So we'll need to identify each of the controller from which we need to get the data. If it's temperature data, we need to see what kind of temperature control it is. Once we have the data, we will need to find a suitable gateway which will collect the data from the controller that can help process the data. So we find the suitable gateway that can do that work for us. Once we have the gateway, once we have the IT infrastructure, once we identify what controller, we identify what parameters we want to read and what KPIs we really want to generate. Now, having so much of data but not making sense out of it is not of any optimum use. So we will figure out that what kind of data we want in the output form. So KPI is the key performance indicator that we will decide. So now, for temperature, it can be my ramp up time, it can be ramp down time, it can be what the speed is going on, or how the temperature is reacting to the pressure. It can be how temperature is reacting to the current, and so on and so forth. So that way we create multiple KPIs. If you would like to learn more about KPIs, hit your comments below on what kind of KPIs you're looking for, or what kind of machine you have. I can suggest what KPIs are needed to be able to monitor that machine. So it's very simple. So once we figure out this is the machine, this is a controller, this is the gateway, this is the data we want to take, and these are the KPIs, we integrate all of them and send all the data to the cloud or to a local server where the gateway data is stored. So once the data is stored, we create dashboards. Now these dashboards will have a lot of KPIs that are critical for efficiency, critical to know what is happening on the shop floor. Once we get the alerts, then we go for the reports. Reports are the most critical part, because reports can be integrated again with the ERP system, with the MES system, so that all of them work in hand to hand and in sync. So then we create reports which will have all the important KPIs, which can be how much time was spent by operator on the machine, which operator was on which machine, what was the downtime on each individual machine. Let's say, for example, on the CNC machine, the downtime was 3 hours. Then what actual was the downtime? So in present scenario, we may only have that this was the downtime. But with an machine monitoring system, we can know that 20 minutes was spent on tool loading, 30 minutes was spent on cleaning, then 10 minutes was spent on preventive maintenance. So we will know what actually is happening on machine at every given second. So now we know how much time the machine was on, how much time the machine was doing productive work, how much time the machine was in idle mode. So once we have all of this onto a report, we can do analysis. Then we can also integrate multiple AI models to make sense out of all the big data that we've combined. And then once we have that, we can start taking corrective actions to increase the productivity, to increase the efficiency, and to increase our ROI on the capex that we have invested. Now, to make sure that all the systems keep running, we will need to have a system in which we keep checking the latest firmware on the system. We keep checking on how the Wi-Fi, the Ethernet, and the IT network is running. We keep checking if there is any data loss, because if you go for a low quality gateway or a cheaper quality gateway, there are chances of data loss. So that is somewhere I would suggest that go for a very good gateway, a cloud platform which has got all the features that you may need now and in the future. So a solution which is future proof and has got good level of KPI generation, report generation, you can select that kind of cloud platform and a gateway, which will help you make your system future ready and future proof. Then once the system is implemented, we will need to train our team members to be able to use the system and take corrective actions based on the data that system provides. Once we do that, things are very much completed. But before we proceed into starting the work, we'll need to make sure of two things. One is the security and second is the reliability. Because if it is not secure, then it is not right. We need to make sure that the communication happening between the machine to the cloud is highly secure and there is some level of physical bridging that is happening on the system, so that there is no chance of any hacker coming into your network and being able to access the machine, because accessing machine can create damage, can cause loss of life, and also a hacker might be able to do a breakdown on the machine, which will leave your machine paralyzed and not able to work for a few days. So we need to make sure that systems are very much secure. There is some level of physical disconnect, which can be again connected using a bridge. Systems have at least SSL certificate, they are working on HTTPS, the servers are secured, the cloud is secured, the database is secured. We need to make sure that security as good as it can get. And the last thing that I'd like to talk about is reliability. A solution should not be a solution that works for 2 days or 3 days. It should be a solution that keeps working, keeps running for years to come and decades to come. Because if something is not reliable, you are putting all your efforts on it and analyzing data based on unreliable data, then there is a failure over there. Because if you think your efficiency is 90%, but in actual if it is at 80%, then there is something wrong. If there is some data loss happening on daily basis, then it is wrong, because data loss is not acceptable. So you need to make sure that system is reliable and it is secure. Then only your machine monitoring system will actually work. And the most critical thing is it should be future ready. So now I hope you have a fair idea of what machine monitoring system looks like and how it can help you. If you like to know more about machine monitoring system, or visit our website to know more. If you like this video, hit a like button. If you have any queries, comment down below. And if you like what I've shared with you and if you like to know more about it, here, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one. Thank you.